Hello and welcome to another video. In this video, we are going to see how keyframes work in frame of motion or motion for React. We are going to learn by creating this effect that you are seeing on the screen right now. So I have already written the code for this effect. We're going to erase all of this and create this from scratch. Let's get started. So I have erased all of the code. As you can see, I have a motion div here, this motion div with a background of rows 500. I have rounded the corners and it has a size of 20. That means 80 pixel width and 80 pixel height. I also have the parent container with a height of screen, a background of black, text of white. I have made it a flex container with a flex direction of column, and I have centered the content on the vertical axis by using the property justify center, as you can see here. So let's see how we can use keyframes to animate this. I'm going to provide the animate prop. Inside the animate prop, I'm going to modify the X property of the motion div, but here I'm not going to provide a single value that we used to provide. Instead, I'm going to provide an array of values, and those values are the keyframes. So I want the exposition to be 0 initially, and I want it to change to 500 units and 100 units and 800 units. Let's see what happens. I've saved this. As you can see, the div is going back and forth. It goes to 0, it goes to 500. Let me refresh this again. It goes to 0, it goes to 500, it goes to 100 again, and at the end it goes to the last keyframe, that is the 800 value. So let me erase one keyframe. I want to create uh, an effect. Let's say I have provided, I want the exposition to be 0 initially, and I want it to go to 800 and then come back. So let's see. As you can see, initially the exposition is 0, it goes back, it goes to an exposition of 800 and comes back. So these are the keyframes. We can provide as many keyframes as we want. We can animate multiple properties inside the animate prop using keyframes. Let's say I want it to scale. Let's say I want the scale property to change as well using keyframes. Initially I want it to scale by 1, and when it goes to the position of 800, I want it to scale by a value of 1.5, and when it comes to back, I want the scale to be 1 again. Let me save this. You can see initially it has a scale of 1 and then position of 0, goes to expression of 800, scales by a factor of 1.5, and then comes back scaling down. Now to create the effect that we saw at the starting of this video, I want to start the exposition by 100 units, and I want the motion div to be at the center of the screen. So how we can do this is, I want to use the window.inner width, that is the width of viewport. I want to subtract the width of the container, that is 80 pixels, and let me divide this by 2 so that the second keyframe becomes the center of the screen. And at last, I want the keyframe to be window.inner width minus, let's say, 100 to get a padding so that the motion element doesn't go off the screen. Just to provide this 100 is just to provide the padding. Let me save this. Now as you can see, if I refresh it, starts initially here, scales to 1.5 and goes back to the end. Now we can animate the background color of the motion element as well by using background color, and we need to provide numerical string values, that's the hex values or RGB values. If we provide named colors such as red, red, yellow, motion is not going to interpolate those colors. So we need to use string colors with numerical values inside, that's hex codes. So I'm going to set the color of the motion element blue initially, and when it is at the center, I want the color to change to green. Value for green is 00ff00. Don't forget the hash. And at the end, I want it to be red. Let me save this. As you can see, starts from here, comes at the center, goes back. We can make this animation a repeat by providing the repeat property in the transition prop. Let's see how. Let me give this a duration first so that the animation slows down. Duration of 3 seconds, let's say, and repeat infinity. Let me save this. As you can see, it now repeats infinitely. As you can see, it starts from this x100, comes to the center of the screen and goes towards the end. Scaling, changing colors, changing x values. We can also change the times. Let's say at initially the motion element is here, but I want it at the center after, let's say, 1 second. Let me say, let me show you how to do that. I can modify the times prop here, times property here, provide an array. So initially at the start of animation, that is 0 seconds, I want the color to be blue, scale of 1, and at a position of 100. But when the animation is at 10%, I want the motion element to be at the center, so I can provide 0.1 so that the color changes to green after 0.1 seconds, scale of 1.5 after 1.1 seconds, and it should be at an X position of at the center of the screen. Let me save this. Let me add the final. Let's say after 100% animation, I want it at the end with a color of red and a scale of 1 again. So let's see. As you can see, the animation speeds up and slows down, speeds up and slows down. Now I can uncomment this heading as well. So basically we created the effect that we saw in the beginning of the video. I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions, please comment below. Thank you for watching.